Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So I want to say from the outset, guys, my intention for this video is not to create vegan drama of any kind. I'm just doing what I normally do when I see someone misrepresenting veganism, just making huge lies, complete nonsense, trashing vegan diets, saying they're unhealthy and all these horrible things. I've done this many times for people like, say, Joe Rogan, Chris Kresser, and this time I'm going to be responding to some claims made by Mr. Vegan, who has obviously vegan in his social media name. And I'm kind of wondering if he should maybe change that perhaps, because if he's vegan, he's sure saying some really odd things for a vegan. For example, first of all, like a couple months ago, I made a video addressing his claim that veganism is not supported by science, which is really bizarre since it has the backing of, say, the Academy of Nutrition Dietetics, with well over 120 scientific references to back up their claim that vegan diets are nutritionally adequate and helpful for all people in all stages of life. And we're talking about, vegetarian and complete vegan diets. And more recently, he's been saying that vitamin A deficiency or retinol deficiency is very common amongst vegans, which it isn't. But before we get to that, let's just do a quick recap of the video I made a couple months ago where I asked him, hey, point blank, where do you get off? Where's your information, your scientific reference supporting your claim that veganism isn't supported by science? So let's take a look at this study he sent me. First of all, for this study of Indian school children and B12 depletion or deficiency, I went straight to the methods section in the abstract, and we'll look at the whole text later, but I suspiciously see nothing about diet, nothing particularly about veganism or vegetarianism, and already red flags are going off. So I jump over to the conclusion, and once again, I see nothing about veganism or vegetarianism, let alone any kind of conclusion about veganism. So with regards to vitamin B12 deficiency, they found that those who lived in rural environments had a higher chance of vitamin B12 deficiency compared to those from urban environments. 43.9% for rural compared to 30.1% for urban. So how did this happen? How did rural students have a higher incidence of B12 deficiency than urban students? Well, looking further into the data, it becomes quite clear. Those who live in urban environments eat more calories, more here they measured in kilojoules of calorie per day than those in rural environments. So you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with anything? Why would it make a difference about veganism being supported by science or not? If it's true that rural children who don't have a lot of money in India don't eat as much food as their more wealthy counterparts and therefore have more incidence of B12 deficiency, how does this have anything to do about science not proving veganism? So I asked him that, and here's how the exchange went. I don't understand. I mean, the subjects were not vegan in the first place, and the study's authors made no conclusions about B12 deficiency being related to a diet that did not involve eating meat. And all you could say here is, if you read it, you'd understand that the rural area were more likely to be deficient in B12 and thus more likely to be in poverty. 400 million vegetarians in India. And if you remember my video from back then, I pretty much laughed at this point. I mean, this doesn't prove anything. Who cares if there's 400 million or a billion vegetarians in India? So what? The study did not look at vegans in any way, shape, or form. If you do a keyword search through the study for vegan, it doesn't even occur one single time. So for that fact alone, how can you say that this is the study that you're basing your opinion on, that science doesn't support veganism, when the study didn't even look at a single vegan person in their diet? Secondly, you're throwing out there that there's 400 million vegetarians in India, I think you're trying to imply there's so many people there who don't eat meat, and that's why B12 deficiency was higher amongst these rural school children, which goes against everything the author said. They said very clearly the reason for this B12 deficiency amongst the rural population was because of socioeconomic factors. They simply weren't able to buy enough food to eat or not be able to afford supplements like, say, B12 supplements. So this is a horrible study to use as evidence that veganism is not supported by science. And I could go on, just watch the original video I made about this. I'll put the link up there and down here. And you could also see the second study he sent me, one about rickets. Yes, rickets. And once again, the study didn't look at vegans at all. So let me bring you now to the present. I don't want to get too much into drama here, but I made a post on my Twitter, which I do pretty much almost every day, and some of them are political. This is my account that I used when I was running for political office here, city council here in Long Beach. So what kind of person running for politics doesn't make the occasional political post? And I made a post about how the Department of Homeland Security said that these most recent elections were the most secure in American history. I didn't call anyone out, didn't tag anyone, and he left this scathing reply unprovoked on my Twitter. And forget all the political stuff, because I don't want to make this about politics. Everyone's free to believe what they want, but let's look what he says here about vegan diets and retinol deficiency, which is the same as vitamin A deficiency. So here, Mr. Vegan says, the vegan diet and all that retinol deficiency has made me blind. Well, let's just not even address that personal attack against me. I'm bigger than that. And let's just look at the claim he's saying here, that vegan diets are somehow associated with retinol or vitamin A deficiency. So any search for vitamin A or retinol deficiency will show you immediately that it has nothing to do with the lack of eating meat, dairy, eggs, or anything like that. It's most common in places where people are impoverished, like the study he showed me about the Indian school children. In this case, most common in Africa and South Asia. And yes, he's right, it can cause blindness. And what makes this claim completely ridiculous and puts it in the camp of like some kind of anti-vegan nonsense like from Chris Kresser or Joe Rogan is that it's really easy to get sufficient amounts of vitamin A on an all plant-based diet, such as eating foods that we eat every day, such as green leafy vegetables, carrots, spinach, even fruits like mango. Furthermore, even an all banana smoothie like I have typically in my mornings with a few strawberries gets you 1/3 of your RDA for vitamin A. And if you throw some duckweed in your smoothie, as I do in the form of this Clean Machine green protein, which I've been putting in my smoothies pretty much every day for the past year and a half or two, that'll get you an additional 200% of your vitamin A. And if you just put in a half scoop, that's 100%. So thank you if you're trying to find, Mr. Vegan, someone who's deficient in vitamin A. You found the wrong person. And anyone who watches my videos knows how we eat. We eat these whole foods all the time that have vitamin A. And plus, once you count the duckweed, I think I have plenty of vitamin A to go around. But this is not about me or my diet or my ego. This is about your average American. Vitamin A deficiency is such a rare issue that the newly proposed FDA nutrition facts label will not require the listing of vitamin A. So at this point, I really have to ask, someone who says that vegan diets aren't supported by science and have like the flimsiest of studies to try to base that claim upon and make these just totally outrageous, nonsensical anti-vegan claims like all that vitamin A or retinol deficiency in vegan diets making me and others blind, completely unsupported once again. I mean, all I'm seeing is this pattern of anti-vegan rhetoric here. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you'd see from an anti-vegan, which makes me wonder, are you even vegan anymore, Mr. Vegan? And I'm not the only one that has this question. Other people are confused by what you're saying on your social media. So this is why I ask, Mr. Vegan, why not maybe change your name to something else? Because people who find your social media will probably be expecting to see something that's actually informative about veganism, something that's actually truthful, it's scientifically based. And if you're just going to try to put yourself there as a vegan while simultaneously and being anti-vegan and just trashing veganism, you're not doing anyone any good. You're not helping yourself or people who might be following you. Just actually making more people more anti-vegan. They're going to say, oh, I wasn't to go vegan, but I found this guy on social media who says he's a vegan, but how horrible vegan diets are, how nutritionally inadequate they are. So please, for everyone's benefit, why don't you consider changing your name to something else? And I'll let you decide. I'm not here to make fun of you or anything like that. I'm just asking you politely on behalf of some of us in the vegan community. It might do everyone some good if you were to change your name away from Mr. Vegan. So anyway, why don't you let us know down in the questions and comments if you'd like Mr. Vegan to change his name to something. If you want to leave a suggestion too, be friendly. I don't want this to be some kind of attack or anything like that. Just something else so there's no confusion about, if he's vegan or not, because there shouldn't be. If you're a vegan social media influencer, you should be vegan. It just makes basic common sense to me. Anyway, leave your questions and comments down below. Hit like, share this video. Until next time, let's keep it carb. Let's get all those great vitamin A foods in.
When does the pain